Welcome to the topic of the International Ego Championship. The International Ego Championship. The question is, who can pretend not to care the longest? Have you ever noticed how modern relationships have become less about communication and more about who can ignore whom for longer? Two people want to talk with each other. Both have their phones. Both are checking WhatsApp, both are checking Instagram, Facebook, etc. Both are thinking, why hasn't he called me? Why hasn't she called me? And both are secretly waiting for the other person to call first. Congratulations, you are no longer having a relationship, you are no longer having a bond, you are no longer having a real connection. Okay, you are participating in the International Ego Championship. The rules are simple: never call first, never reply immediately, see the message, read it, type the reply, then delete it. Because apparently replying in 30 seconds is now a threat to human dignity. Why? Because the ego whispers, if I reply immediately, they will think I am too interested. Brother or dear sister, you are sitting on your bed checking their last seen status every 40 seconds. You noticed their profile picture has changed. You know they were online at last night 2:13 a.m. But replying to them? Absolutely not. You are not replying to them. They are not replying to you. That would damage the empire. And then comes the legendary sentence. You say, I don't chase people, I don't care. Really, you don't chase people. You conduct forensic investigations. How? You check their online status, their stories, their likes. You also scroll their profile picture and somehow still claim you don't care. For someone who doesn't care, you have an impressive subscription to their life, brother. Then you say, I will call only if they call me first. Why? Because your inner ego accountant says, I called last time. Now they owe me one more. What is this? A relationship, a connection, a friendship, or a bank loan? Dear customer, you have one pending emotional call from August 18. Please clear your dues before further communication. They say like that. And suddenly people create relationship mathematics. I called twice. He replied after 3 hours. I replied after 1 minute. She gave me a thumbs up. So now I disappear for 6 business days. Brother, this is not communication. This is called war with emojis. And the darkest part? Sometimes they actually want to talk. They miss you. They are waiting for your message. But the ego says, don't call. What if they think you need them? That is what the ego does. That's what ego does. It takes a 5-second thought, I want to talk to you, and turns it into a psychological thriller. Instead of, hey, I missed talking to you, the ego says, let's see who breaks first. Instead of, I was waiting for your message, ego says I was busy. Busy doing what? Monitoring whether they noticed you were busy? And this is where psychology becomes embarrassing. Some people deliberately delay replies because they believe availability reduces the value. They manufacture scarcity. They disappear. They make you wait. Not necessarily because they don't care, but because they want to know whether you care. That is the darker truth. They don't always want your presence. Sometimes they want your pursuit. They don't want communication. They want confirmation. Will they call again? Will they message again? Will they notice I am ignoring them? And if you do, their ego gets fed. Congratulations. You just became emotional Wi-Fi. And then comes the ultimate weapon, sin. One tiny blue tick. And you will turn off the read receipts feature and hide last seen status. Then you will ask yourself, should I message again? No, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll post a story. You are not mysterious. You are emotionally confused with Wi-Fi. And here's the tragedy. Sometimes two people genuinely care about each other, but neither wants to look vulnerable. So both wait, both pretend, both calculate, both hope the other person breaks first, and eventually, something that could have been solved by one honest sentence dies because two egos were fighting over who would type it first. Nobody gets a trophy saying that, "Congratulations, you successfully pretended not to care for 11 months." You simply wasted 11 months protecting an image that existed mostly inside your own head. And this is where we separate self respect from ego. Self respect says, "I will not beg for someone's attention." Ego says, "I'll ignore them so they beg for mine." Self respect walks away because something is unhealthy. Ego walks away, then turns around to check whether you noticed. That is not detachment, that's avoidant attachment. That's attention seeking wearing sunglasses. A genuinely confident person doesn't need to manufacture unavailability. If they are free, they reply. If they want to call, they call. If they are busy, they say, "I'm busy, I will call you later, I will call you after 10 p.m. And if 7 p.m. doesn't work but 9 p.m. does, they simply say 7 doesn't work, how about 9? That's maturity. But if someone repeatedly rejects every reasonable opportunity to talk and never suggests another time while somehow having time for everything else, stop solving the mystery. They are not mysterious. They are not the mystery of this universe that you have to solve it. Maybe they are genuinely busy. Maybe they are tired. Maybe they avoid confrontation. Maybe they want control. Maybe they enjoy the attention. Or maybe they simply don't want to talk to you. You don't need to know which one. Their pattern is enough information. Do not investigate the excuse. Observe the pattern. If the pattern says, "I want your attention, but I do not want to give you mine," then you have discovered a relationship where one person wants connection and the other wants an audience. So, what's the solution? Do not chase. Don't retaliate. Don't start your own ego game. If you want to talk, talk. If you are free, reply. If you miss someone, say it. If they are genuinely busy, respect it. But if they repeatedly refuse without offering any alternative, accept the information and step back. No revenge, no dramatic status, no last scene hide, no fine, I won't call either. That's not maturity. If you say, "I will not call either," that's not maturity. That is the season 2 of ego. And congratulations, you won the ego championship, international ego championship. The strongest response is not, "I will ignore you too." It is, "You are free to choose your time. I am free to stop waiting for it." And perhaps that is the real lesson. Ego wants to win the interaction. Maturity wants to understand the person. Ego asks, "Who needs whom more?" Love asks, "Do we enjoy talking with each other? Do we actually enjoy talking to each other?" Ego says, "Make them chase you." Confidence says, "If I want to talk, I'll talk." And insecurity says, "Don't reply too quickly." Freedom says, "If I am free and I want to reply, I will reply." And the ultimate irony, the moment you need someone else's reaction to prove that you are important, you have already admitted that their attention matters to you. So stop performing, stop calculating, stop keeping emotional accounts, stop turning WhatsApp into a battlefield, stop turning your social media account into a battlefield. You are holding a smartphone, not a nuclear launch button. And if your entire personality depends on making another human being wait for your response, maybe the problem is not your communication style. Maybe your ego has Wi-Fi, and unfortunately, it's connected 24/7. So the essence of this topic is that don't confuse distance with dignity silence with strength, delayed replies with value, or attention with love. Be honest, respect boundaries, watch patterns. And when someone repeatedly makes you compete for basic communication, don't compete. Never compete. Never be the part of the game which is being played with you. And never try to play any games. Just observe the game. Because the ultimate ego blast is not making them chase you, It's becoming completely uninterested in winning a game you never wanted to play. That is where the ego loses and you finally become free. Thank you for listening to me.